Hello everyone and welcome to Backcountry Gear Shed. In this video we'll be taking a look at a few survival bandanas. Bandanas are a great item to have in a survival kit. They have many uses, such as a pre-filter before filtering dirty water through your primary filter. You could use it as a pot holder to remove a hot pot from your campfire. You could wear one on your face as a dust mask or on your head as protection from the sun. You could carry small items in one. The potential uses of a bandana are virtually endless, and they're very worthwhile to have in any survival kit. I recently posted a video on my channel of a survival fanny pack loadout, and some viewers commented that I should have an orange bandana for signaling purposes rather than the earth tone bandana that I had included in the kit. They made a good point. The bandana that I had was like this one, basically your standard all cotton bandana. This particular one's from Colter Co. These can be purchased from Amazon for around $23 for 4. They look pretty good. I will still keep the earth tone bandana in the kit, in that if I were removing a hot pot from a campfire or a sooty pot, something like that, even the pre-filtering dirty water, I might rather use an earth tone bandana because that soot's going to mark it up pretty badly, and I wouldn't want to do that with some of these other bandanas. So I will keep one of these in the kit as well. But I also have added these Stayin Alive bandanas from Colter Co. These are really neat bandanas. They are printed with a reflective material. This is a reflective print. It doesn't show up all that well in the video, unfortunately, but even from my perspective here with the light behind me, I can see it reflecting nicely. It should make a great piece of material for signaling. And it's also printed with some basic survival tenets and some good principles to keep in mind in any survival situation. So I thought that was a pretty neat selling point with this bandana. If you're going to carry a bandana anyway, I think it's worthwhile to have one printed with all these survival facts on it. So pretty excited about that. So much so, in fact, that I purchased 4 of these already. I'm going to be putting them in a few different survival kits. These are currently priced at $13.95 on Amazon. Up next, another offering from Colter Co. This is the Animal Tracker Survival Bandana. It has 17 different animal tracks printed on it. Looks pretty useful. I'm excited to compare it with some tracks that I'll encounter in my excursions in the woods. So pretty happy with this one. This bandana is also currently priced at $13.95 on Amazon. That's in US dollars. Up next, this is the Know Your Knots bandana, also from Colter Co. So this bandana looks pretty good. I like that it has these images of many essential knots. But one thing I noticed with this, in some cases like this alpine butterfly, if you didn't know how to tie the alpine butterfly, you'd be very hard pressed to tie one from looking at this image. I think overall this is probably a better reminder of knots than it is a tool for learning knots. So I would definitely encourage anyone who is considering purchasing a bandana like this to learn these knots before you go out into the field, and do not rely on this bandana to teach you any of these knots. I mean, in a pinch, you could probably figure some of these out. Some will be more forgiving. But even the bowline, you're going to want to practice the technique on a knot like this before you get into a situation where you need it. And definitely don't rely on something like this bandana to teach it to you. But as far as for a reminder of knots, I think this bandana looks pretty good. It was good enough to convince me to purchase it. Next up, we have the Sun Compass bandana from the printed image. This is another Made in USA bandana. This one's a little bit thinner than the others we've looked at so far, but still seems like a nice quality piece. This one's a little bit less expensive. The 3 Colter bandanas we looked at so far are all $13.95 each. This one's currently priced at $13.50. but as I said, it's a little bit thinner of material. But with this one, the function of this bandana is pretty neat. It can give you the direction if you have a timepiece, or you can determine the time if you have a compass. So it can work in either way. And in order to do that, you would just find the appropriate month, place a stick on this, and basically use it like a sundial. It's a very interesting looking piece. I have yet to test it, but I'm looking forward to doing so. And from what I've read in the reviews, it actually works. So pretty excited about this one as well. Up next, we have the Foraging Field Reference Bandana. This bandana is made by Wazoo. And is printed with 12 common, edible, medicinal, and useful North American plants. This looks pretty good so far. I see several plants that are common in my area. We do have plantain, cattail, willow. I'm not sure about burdock. We do have dandelion and yarrow. Wapato may go by another name. We might have that around here, but I'm not certain. We do have turkey tail and maple, stinging nettle. So several of these are available in my area. And something I really like about this bandana is how they have multiple different designations for the different parts of the plants as far as what's edible, what's medicinal, what can be eaten raw. So looks like a very useful bandana. To me, this is similar to the Know Your Knots bandana in that I wouldn't rely on this to learn this information, but it could be a helpful reminder. I'd recommend to study this information before you get it out into the field, before you have a need for these items. But having this bandana can be a great reminder. So there you have it. Those are the best survival bandanas I've been able to find so far. If you have seen any great survival bandanas that you haven't seen covered in this video, please let me know. I'd definitely be interested in learning about them. If you're interested in this type of content, I'd greatly appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.